Hi, Facebook friends. Helen Arcantu here, CEO of the YWCA of Northern New Jersey. Good morning. It's Thursday, and we're so happy to have some time with you this morning. We are excited today on YWTV to launch a new campaign that we will be starting on June 29th, and it's called Share the Mic Now. And it is an opportunity to amplify the voices of Black women who have historically not always been heard or understood. This is a global campaign that actually kicked off around the world on June 10th. And it has featured famous white women handing over their social media platforms to Black women for the day in an effort to expand their reach and elevate Black women's stories and impact. And the campaign actually came at a time where worldwide protests were happening all around over racial justice, demands for racial justice that happened after the death and the murder, I should say, of George Floyd in Minneapolis on May 25th. So we have been watching this campaign, and I really thought to myself, it was a wonderful opportunity for the YWCA to jump in and use our platform to participate. And so, starting next week, we will be sharing the mic with, as I said, Black women who are community partners, friends, activists, small business owners, as a way to introduce them to all of you. We do encourage you, if you're not following our Instagram page, to make sure that you get over there and do that, because that's where all this magic will be happening. And we wanted to kick off the campaign today by introducing you to our very first Share the Mic Now partner. And she is a old friend of the YW. We've done lots of work together, and I have such tremendous respect for her and the impact that she's been having in the community on such an important issue. And her commitment to it has predated before it became a conversation, and in New Jersey, which gratefully it is one now. Jay and her team worked with us last year and partnered on an event that we had called Birthing in Communities of Color, and it was hosted at Englewood Hospital. And we had a spectacular panel of professionals who shared the important statistics and information around the high rates of maternal and infant mortality within communities of color, regardless of resource availability, socioeconomic status, or educational background. It was an extremely informative and eye-opening presentation for everyone who attended. So many people are not aware of these statistics, and I'm just so grateful that we have Jay out there in our state and working around the country as well, but that she's here in a New Jersey native, making sure that this has become a conversation and helping us understand here. So let me tell you a little bit about Jay. She is a mom of two beautiful girls. She is an entrepreneur. She is a social impact speaker. She is a social activist. She is a maternal advocate, and she is a self-sufficiency coach. That tongue twister for early in the morning. Um, she has created big strides in advocacy for women of color. And most notably, she has been one of the go-tos for First Lady and Governor of New Jersey as their public speaker and maternal health advocate for Nurture New Jersey, that has really focused on the Black maternal health crisis. On her own, she has reached over 1,000 women through her in-person events and has created a reputation for her organization that is trusted for its authenticity and for its support. Her professional career as a community health nurse, she started there. She worked in nursing. She worked as a nursing manager, operation manager, and lobbied in Washington, D.C., Albany, and Trenton as an advocate for the LGBT plus community. Jay is also, as I said, a wonderful mom to two beautiful girls. So, Jay, welcome. So happy
Thank
to see
you.
you today. And what I also should share about Jay is that we were planning to honor her as one of our Racial Justice Award winners this year in April. Obviously, COVID had different plans for all of
It
these
did.
events, but we will still be doing that at some point. And that was, really to just, pay her such, honor for the tremendous work and impact that she's having in our community.
Thank you.
So tell us, I know you've been very busy since we last saw each other. And I know a part of it is you've got a big launch coming, which is so exciting this weekend. I'm so happy that we're able to coincide what we are doing and your launch to bring more attention to it. So tell us a little bit about what you've been up to and your big launch.
Yeah. First and foremost, thank you. Thank you so much for even giving me this opportunity. I'm so excited and so grateful for the connection. The YW is doing so much amazing work, and just to know that we're partners and elevating these conversations, it just means so much to me personally and professionally, right? Um, but like for melanated moms, we have been like so super busy finding ways to stay connected to our community. When COVID happened, it threw everyone for a loop. As you said, like we're known really for our in-person events. And when COVID happened and we had to all be on punishment and be in the house, I was like, oh my God, how am I going to do in-person events if I can't meet with my community in person? So we went to the drawing board, my team and I, and we talked and we tried to figure out what are the best ways for us to stay committed to our community and still give them the connections that they need and they ask for. So we decided to do a website rebuild, which has been a tremendous project. Just learning like what systems work best for the website, what things we do best, what things people are looking for. We also did a survey where we had almost 100 women to fill it out to give us feedback on what is it that they gravitate to melanated moms for? Like, what are the things that stand out the most? So we wanted to make sure we captured all of that data and put it in a comprehensive place, which is this new website. So we will be launching officially July 1st. Alongside the website, we're also launching a new membership. We have two different membership levels. So we have an individual membership, which is for any mom or woman. Excuse me, and that gives them access to our virtual and, once the world comes off punishment, in-person support groups. It also gives them access to our several committees that we formed, which are called the Committees of Change. And those are specific areas of advocacy that target the different needs of our community. So we have obviously like maternal health, mental health. We have parenting special needs children. Like, what does that support look like? What type of ways can we advocate for parents of special needs kids? Financial literacy and entrepreneurship. So those different types of committees, we want them to have a seat at those tables to create the change that they want to see, right? And then our second membership is the Melanated Moms Business Network. So what that is, it's a really cool platform where we look for moms and women who are small businesses, and we want to help elevate their platform just as YW is doing for us. So we're extending our platform to them for promotions and advertisement. We're also giving them a space for sponsorship. They're also getting the opportunity to mentor other moms or women who want to go into business. And then we also have a second layer where we're giving them business development tools. So we'll be hosting virtual networking events where they get to meet the other members, but then they also get to meet other business owners and ask real life questions. How do I balance my books? How do I figure out who my market is? How do I pivot when a pandemic hits? All of those questions that we may not necessarily think are important to ask. We want to have that space for them. So that's the second membership.
That's amazing. So
Yeah.
that is a lot, but that really gives a lot of options to your community for sure.
Yeah.
So I know that you're a mompreneur. I know right before we went live, the two of us were talking about momdom and some of the challenges of doing that during COVID, and but I know that not only are you a mompreneur and you're a single mom, and that that comes with definitely more responsibility and different challenges than obviously if you're doing it with two. So, can you talk a little bit about why this platform was so important to you? Kind of having that background of being a mompreneur and a single mom.
Yeah. I think that for me, like, I transitioned from being married to divorced and single, right? So I had to learn what that looked like, and I had to um, draw a pathway to see it from a positive aspect, right? And in that transition, I learned so much about myself. I learned that I am actually very self sufficient, even more so than I initially thought. And I also learned that being self sufficient doesn't mean like I'm the only person that does everything, but it also means knowing how to utilize the community that surround me, whether it's friends or family or friends who become family, as support for myself and my kids to thrive. Um, in doing that, it also helped me to become more empowered in the mission of the work that I'm doing with Melanated Moms. And it also helped me to learn that I am a coach. So, like, talking about me becoming a self sufficiency coach, I had to learn, like, how do I coach other people to be in this space, right? So I created this really cool program where I'm teaching women through different ways, how they can find their voice through self-sufficiency. So we have three ways they can do it. It can be through education, through advocacy, and through entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
They all interconnect in many ways, but some women want to go back to school and they want to find a way to elevate themselves. So I want to give them those tools to see how how their educational path can lead them to a more self-sufficient life, and that in itself is empowering. So I created this program, and I learned more through speaking with the women that I've been coaching, um, how they were able to apply it to not just their business but their personal lives. So then I started to expand that, and I started to um, find ways to apply it to my own life. Because I believe that as a coach, you're not just teaching other people, you're also learning lessons for yourself to get better and to gain more wisdom. I just it's like a hard question to answer, but it's not.
Yeah.
All of this is just been empowering in so many ways, and the different stages that I've gone through, I'm just giving it to my community because I feel like it's needed.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to continue to be that conduit for them to be self sufficient and to build my own self sufficiency in the same way.
Well, you're a tremendous role model for many, I'm sure, and I think the fact that you're learning as you go too just even speaks to it, even more. That reminds women that we're all in that space,
Yeah,
that we learn as we go, and that you always have to have one hand forward and one hand back.
yeah,
That
yeah.
that's it for sure, and you definitely are the epitome of that. So let me ask you. I know you've done a lot of work with the First Lady on the Nurture New Jersey program, and for anybody watching who is not aware of the statistics and does not know about that effort, could you just take a few moments? That had so much to do with why, obviously we've done so much work together around
Yeah,
that. And when I thought about sharing the mic, with melanated moms, that was one of the reasons because I really want to continue to bring attention to the unbelievable statistics that I don't think people, I don't think white people, and non-black people exactly understand.
yeah.
Um, and we need to understand it so that we can help.
Sure. Yeah. So the First Lady took this on as a personal initiative to change the narrative of birthing for Black women in the state of New Jersey. Um, Throughout the states, statistically, New Jersey is, I think they're number 47 out of 50 states for a positive birthing outcome for Black women. And women in New Jersey are 3 to 4 times as likely to die in childbirth, and our children are 2 to 3 times as likely to die before their first birthday. So knowing that those statistics exist and have existed for 20, 30 years, it's actually one of the only statistics that's actually gone up in 20 years. And for me, I didn't realize how significant it was until I realized I was a part of that statistic. So like, we talk all the time, but for people who may not know me, like, my birthing story and my journey to motherhood was very traumatic. I lost two children before having my first daughter. And through those losses, even with the birth of my two girls, I'm a 4-time survivor of preeclampsia, and I didn't know how preeclampsia affected communities of color. More than 60% of the cases of preeclampsia belong to Black women. I didn't know that. I thought it was just me. I thought I was an outlier. And by becoming connected with the Preeclampsia Foundation and becoming connected with the First Lady and telling these stories and talking to other women who've been in my shoes or who are currently pregnant and don't want to have to walk down those paths, I thought it was important to partner with people who can create the change and who are really committed to it. So when she started the Nurture New Jersey project, she wanted to create a new system, but not from just her seat, right? She's sitting in a seat of privilege. She's a white woman. She's had her own birthing experience that are very different from women who look like me. So what she did is she created a 5-year a 5-year grant called Healthy Women, Healthy Families, which is a part of her strategic plan to help change what those narratives look like. She implemented different community-based resources all throughout the state. She also implemented community health workers, which are lay people who know the community very well, who are very trusted, who are also knowledgeable on the side of social services needs, as well as the holistic and clinical needs of a woman throughout the different stages of conception. So they're looking at girls from as young as 14 and women as old as 45 and up, and then childbearing age, and asking them, how can we support you? How can we prepare you for understanding what your body goes through when you're pregnant? How can we look at all of the other parameters that impact your disparity risk? What are the health disparities? How can we look at housing? How can we look at transportation? How can we create spaces so we can remove as many barriers as possible so that you can get to a positive outcome, which is either preventing pregnancy, having a healthy pregnancy, birthing your child, and thriving, and then creating that as a pathway for their children, So it's literally creating a legacy of life as opposed to a legacy of these statistical studies of, I've said this before, where Black people are living on paper as a statistic, but they're dying in real life. Like, we don't want that. I want to be able to share these stories with my kids, and I want them to learn from them, but I want my kids to also be here, and I want to be able to be here for them. So if I can do that with other women, and I can do that with spaces like YW and with the state of New Jersey, with Nurture New Jersey, with the Department of Health, with all of these other spaces that exist and want to do the work, then I'm all for it,
Right. Well, we're so lucky to have you in New Jersey to be part of this effort, and I'm really looking forward to your posts on our Share the Mic to be talking about the work that Melanated Moms is doing, your new venture with your website, and also to be bringing attention to, you know, these very important issues like maternal and infant mortality in Black communities.
Yeah.
So, for those of you watching, as I shared, Share the Mic will launch next week. So, Jay, tell me a little bit about what you think about this campaign.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts around it as a Black woman?
I mean, I think it's necessary. I think it is revolutionary because you're not coming from a place of like uh, you are coming from a place of understanding and authenticity. Like, that's always been my feeling with you and with the YW is you want to genuinely help people and put an even platform across racial disparities, right? So just knowing that you guys understand the level of exposure that you have and the needs of communities of color and sharing that with them, like it means a lot to me. I know for people who follow me or who are a part of my community, it means a lot to them. And it also changed the way that they look at the YWCA, you know, and knowing that your commitment is really on changing what race and disparities look like. You know, like you guys are really committed to that from the moment we became connected. You know, I've always felt that. So having the ability to share this platform with you is, to me, is monumental. Like I'm always excited to be a part of something that's going to change the way that we see things. So
Well, my hope is, and as I'm sharing again, I want everyone to get over to Instagram and follow the YWCA Northern New Jersey page. And each week, as we profile and showcase a new um, um, either Black organization, Black business, Black woman, um, please follow them as well, and please share their information with your network. It is very, very important for all of us to gain. From my perspective and from the YW's perspective, education is how we're going to, and standing together is how we are going to eliminate racism, which is, a lofty, mission for sure, but we plan on sticking to it and standing together and using our platforms accordingly. So, with that, we hope everyone joins us, checks in next week, and learns more about Jay, learns more about melanated moms and all the amazing work that they're doing. And tomorrow, we hope that you join us again here at 1 o'clock. We'll have Secretary of State Tahisha Way joining us, and she's going to be speaking as part of our Why Women Vote series. We know that every year is an important voting year. This year, there's so many key elections happening, not just our presidential election. And the reality of it is, I love seeing everybody out at these, marches and sharing their feelings on, these racial disparities and, these, changes that we want to see in our systems of systemic racism. But one of the most impactful things that you can do is keep marching to the polls.
that's right.
And whether you're going there in person or mailing it in, whatever it is, we need you all to be doing it and making sure that you're putting people in office that reflect the value systems of what you believe in. Doesn't matter if they're Republican or Democrat. What matters is the value system that they are representing for you. And there've been a lot of changes in how we're going to be voting this year, and we want to make sure that you understand them. And you may or may not know, and she'll explain it more to us tomorrow, but our Secretary of State, that is one of her chief responsibilities, is overseeing elections in New Jersey. So she'll talk to us a little bit about the current state of voting in New Jersey, the complexities of the mail-in ballot, and also talk us through, how to do that successfully. So we hope to see you tomorrow. Again, next week, we're really excited about launching Share the Mic Now. And, we'll see more of Jay then. And everyone, have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Thank you for joining us today. Jay, good to see you. Be
Good to
well.
see you too.
Keep up the good
Bye.
work. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.